Hey guys, Max Tornado is here, and we're going to be doing another account overview, and we'll be offering some feedback. Today we're looking at Panda Go Panda, which is a really great name. Definitely had a little chuckle when I read that. So the way that I came about looking at this account was Panda. He messaged me on Discord and just asked, and I was happy to do it. So if you are interested in me taking a look at your account, sometimes I'll be able to do it really quickly, and sometimes it might take me a couple days. Just depends on if I have some things going on, in real life, or if I've got other projects I'm working on. But I'm always happy to offer feedback. The best way to reach me is by far on Discord. I always check my Discord messages daily, and we have a group of people on Discord that are super helpful. Some of us are veterans, have been playing a long time, and can offer feedback from that perspective. Some other players are new, and they can share their insights. So let's take a look. So right off the bat, we are level 52. So kind of in level 52 in my mind is kind of getting into that like early mid game. You're starting to dip your toes in the mid game water. But mid game can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. The way I look at mid game is you're starting to focus on like brutal and nightmare clan boss. You are starting to look at Doom Tower some. You're starting to get close to getting to level 20 dungeons, so you can farm those. And you should have like a fair amount of 60s, right? You should be looking at around 6 to 10 60s once you're in the mid game. And then mid game takes a pretty long time to get out of that. But let's take a look at what you're working with as far as champions go. Okay, so yeah, like I said, he's dipping his toes. He's trying to kind of break out of that early game. So he's got 4 6 stars right now. Ultimate Death Knight, love Ultimate Death Knight. He's super strong. Gimbo, very strong champion. Taragi is excellent for sure for clan boss. I love to see Taragi's on the account. Gaelic, okay, for sure. Gaelic can be strong. He's probably your starter champion. Yeah, got his lifesteal gear on him. Deliana, love to see that you have Deliana. She's actually a super strong champion. Um, let's see, Mausoleum Mage is a strong epic for sure. Scarred, strong epic. Let's see, Offeris is strong. Um, he's certainly super helpful in faction wars. Let's see, got a Painkeeper, got Aothar. Not ever actually used Aothar. Let's check out his code real quick. Still a random buff from the target. Attack 4 times at random. Block active skills. Okay, okay, fair enough. So Frozen Banshee, absolute. She is one of the best damage dealers in Clan Boss. So she's very strong. Love to see that you already have Drexthar. That's phenomenal. An Armiger going at level 50. It's like you are, yeah, you're getting him close to 100% crit rate. He does need to be 100% crit rate for his abilities to function the way you want them to. So I mean, if this doesn't crit, then it's kind of no point in bringing an Armiger. So you definitely want it to be as close to 100% as you can. I'll lock that for you. Definitely some strong champions though, man. Very cool. Now, Panda did mention that he has been playing for around 150 days or so. Yep, he's coming up on a 150-day reward. He also mentioned that he has, for a lot of those days, just been like log on, maybe do some quests, and then log off, right? Log on, collect the daily rewards, log off, which is common, right? A lot of us have families that we're interacting with. A lot of us have jobs that we're having to prioritize. So sometimes that's the best you can do. I've been there. A lot of y'all have probably been there. And I think that's a smart thing to do. If you're able to log on every day and just collect the basic daily rewards, you get your energy, you get your free ancient shards sometimes. So it's a smart thing to do. So we'll collect a mystery shard for you real quick. Okay, now we had a look at the champions. Let's see if there's anything in the vault that we should be aware of. Another Mausoleum Mage. Okay. Okay, cool. So it looks like these are your faction guardians. Nothing in the reserve right now? Okay, fair enough, fair enough. So this is kind of our main pool of champions that we're looking at. Fair enough. Alright. Now, as far as builds go, let's see. We've got regen and accuracy. Okay. Right off the bat, one of the first things I do when I first look at a champion is I kind of look over here at the bottom and I see, okay, do they have speed boots on? and it's obvious he does not have speed boots on, right? Because if he had speed boots on, he would have at least 140, 150 speed. Preferably, we would like to see him. We'd like to see all your champions in the 170, 180 speed range as a minimum. Sometimes, when you're starting out, 160 is understandable, but really, this is just so low, and it's probably because I'm guessing you probably either have defense percent or HP percent on your boots. So let's take a look. Flat HP. Okay. So my guess is you were given these boots for the actual login when you were gathering Ultimate Death Knight. So it's understandable that you're using these. One thing to keep in mind though, whenever you're farming your sets, um, you'll want to replace these pretty quick for a lot of reasons, right? A, you want to have speed boots, right? B, he is focused on defense, so his shields that he puts out are based on his defense. So although it's true HP is going to help him survive a little bit, you certainly wouldn't want to. Yeah, you can open a crystal a little bit later, bud. But this isn't my account. Lincoln always wants to open crystals. Just a friend. Okay. Here, I'm gonna pause this real quick and talk to him. Okay, I'm back. Lincoln always loves to pull shards. For a long time, every time I would pull sacreds, I would always get the kids to pull them because I figured, kids have to have better luck than I do. But like I was saying, you definitely would, if you were going to have anything other than speed here, you would want it to be percentage, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. I know obviously we do the best we can with what we have, and this is the best you have right now, it looks like. Let's see, defense percent, so that's smart. You've got defense percent on your chest. We would also expect to see defense percent on the gloves. Okay, so you're building a little bit of damage kind of Ultimate Death Knight. Okay, I can live with that. I can live with that. I will say, when you think about Ultimate Death Knight, kind of think about he is very much a tanky, like he's kind of like your offensive line, right? Like you want him to be just really big and strong, putting out massive shields on the team, um, and to bring that decreased attack. That's kind of his major functioning. But if you can make that work with crit rate gloves, okay, fair enough. Let's see what else you've got. HP percent and resistance. I do like to see resistance on Ultimate Death Knight for sure. That's valuable. You do have a lot of attack percent rolls, which again, it's probably just the way it happened. Sometimes you can't control that stuff. It's a pretty nice tanky piece right here for sure. I can see that you've only got some 1% glyphs, so you definitely want to get into. Sorry, my recording got interrupted. I had to clear some disk space. Yeah, sometimes we do the best we can with what we have with our glyphs, and also if you don't have a lot of champions for the different factions, sometimes the best you can do is clear stage 1 or 2, right? So we'll take a look at that and see if that's what you've been doing. Overall, though, I like what you're doing here. You've got some resist, got some accuracy. Definitely need to crank out some more speed there. Like as far as some glyphs here, you might be able to benefit from speed glyphing if you have any. Yep. So you could definitely add a little bit of speed, add a little bit of HP to that. So yeah, I like that. Let's check out your Gimbo. Gimbo is a nuker champion for sure. For those of you who don't know, Gimbo does his A1, has a increased attack buff, which is kind of always weird, but also can steal some other random buffs. Attacks all enemies, decreases duration of all buffs, so he's really good about kind of snatching buffs away and eliminating buffs. He is kind of a nuker champion, right? So if you have a Gimbo, you're probably using him to nuke. So ignoring unkillable buffs, so that's strong as well. Phantom Touch here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you're nuking. Okay. Now as far as his, let's see, you've got 100% crit rate. Like you're looking into some crit damage. Okay. Let's see here. Got accuracy, attack percent. Okay. Now the lifesteal set, that's kind of interesting for Gimbo. Kind of interesting. We'll have to see where you're kind of using him. But you would probably see HP percent on the chest as well. So all of his attacks are based on attack, right? So the HP percent here, not too sure about. you'd probably be running attack percent unless you're using Gimbo in your clan boss, in which case I could see why you might need some HP, and that's very well what you're probably doing if you have him in life still. You're probably using him as a dual role, which goes to show you just the importance of having more 6 stars, because then you can kind of bounce your champions from having to do these like dual roles of Gimbo being in your clan boss and Gimbo being in your arena nuking position, and just let them be really niche for that. So that would be for sure. First word of advice is definitely get some more food ready to feed into some of your 5 stars, so that way that they can fulfill their role in the best way possible. Taragi the Frog, again, when we look, we already see that there's some speed issues here. I like the Stalwart set because you're definitely using him for clan boss as you should be. Um, the major thing would just be to make sure he has enough stats everywhere else. So let's see. Again, you could probably benefit from some glyphs here. He's got enough accuracy to land his poison, so that's cool. This provokes. Let's see. Or accuracy, defense flat. Okay. So you can see there's several pieces here that aren't glyphed, so that would be a major focus. If you have time to just sit down and glyph all your champions, you're going to see some benefits from that. Let's see. Double speed roll here. This is a strong piece, right? Take that up to 16 and get some good amounts of accuracy. Glyph it for sure. HP percent, so you're just trying to make him as tanky as you can, so that way his ally protects aren't killing him, and understandable for sure. Let's see. I believe his shields are based on 15% of his max HP, so should, if you had it, and obviously you're not farming a ton of spider, you would be stacking HP here with HP percent, but double HP percent strong, and again, you could lift that, that'd be valuable. Yeah, overall good stuff. Okay, so not a bad build, not a bad build at all. Gallic. Let's see. So Gallic, he's in a lifesteal set as well. So he's probably your other champion that you're using in the clan boss. He's got War Master. Good. Just out of curiosity. So we would want to go ahead and get masteries on Taragi as well, so he could get some extra damage. Ooh, that'll be nice to go ahead and get the masteries done for Ultimate Death Knight as well. Right, he can benefit a lot from War Master. You're putting his clan boss. Let's see. Okay. Deliana, such a strong champion as well. I actually like the retaliation set on Deliana, especially if you're using her for some spider farming. Okay. So again, speed's low. So that's kind of my general feedback. Is it certainly looks like you're probably not using speed boots very often. And the issue with that is, if you're not using speed boots, you're probably not going first in a lot of content. And just plain and simple, if you're wanting to progress dungeons, if you're wanting to progress in arena, if you're wanting to progress in clan boss, you have to have enough speed to make your abilities come back faster, right? If you take a turn and then, you know, the entire wave takes multiple turns before you, that's problematic, right? And you've gotten away with it because you're kind of sitting still in the early game, but it will 100% hold you back, right? So like if we go here to your speed boots and we click here, we go speed, and we say equipped, right? We should see a ton of speed boots equipped, right? And we only see 1, 2, 3. Right? We should see most, like 98.9, 99% of your champions should be rocking speed boots. Okay, so let's take a look at what you're doing with your teams here. Now, in the messages, Panda mentioned to me that he was wanting to focus on trying to progress out of hard clan boss, which is certainly valuable to do. Once you start moving into brutal, you can get the Grandmaster and the Master chest, and increased chances to get these nice shards, increased chances for the books, and really where the money's at is once you're able to start doing Nightmare, and you can start getting yourself some sacred shards, right? Because then you can start to expand your roster a whole lot. So when we look at hard, looks like Panda's doing 4.68. He's using Drexthar. He's using Aethar. He's using Mazo Mage. Interesting. So we do have a couple keys here. So what I might do is I might go ahead and pause the video, kind of try to look at what options we have to make this a different team, and then go ahead and come back to see what the outcome is. Just because I don't want this to be like a 40-minute video. So I'll pause it, come back once we have something put together. Okay, so real quick, the team that I put together was Taragi the Frog, obviously. We've got Ultimate Death Knight, got Aethar, Gimbo, and Gaelic. Now, the reason that I brought these champions in, I'll go ahead and break it down. Taragi, phenomenal because he does decrease attack, because he does poisons, and he does shields plus the ally protection. Ally protection is nutty strong in Clan Boss, so he is absolutely in. Ultimate Death Knight, continuous heals, shields, decrease attack. So, right, all of those things phenomenal. I think Taragi does decrease attack. I might actually be wrong. I saw a decrease attack and I thought it was him, but I might have been thinking about the decrease attack from Ultimate Death Knight. Aethar brings poisons, fantastic. We love to see poisons. I was tempted to bring in Frozen Banshee, but she wasn't quite built. She didn't have the accuracy. Now for Gaelic and for Gimbo, the reason they are in is because they have life still and they're level 60. Right? They both have their level 60 tier masteries, and masteries make a massive difference in regards to damage. The fact that they both have life still also means as they do damage, and they get those procs from like Helm Smasher and from War Master, they're going to be healing themselves up a whole lot, and that means, I mean, already we've beaten the previous damage, right? So I think what you were doing, Panda, in the previous team was you were probably just trying to bring as many supports in as you could and try to last as long as you could, right? Um, that is an absolute great strategy for some teams. Your team is too kind of still early for that, and so what your goal is to bring in your hardest hitting champions that can do the most burst damage as possible and just survive as long as you can with those champions, right? You want to go damage, 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 damage. You're not going to survive probably past turn 22, 23. Maybe you do, though. Maybe because of the life steals, right? And so, I mean, this will be interesting to see. Poisons, obviously, you can see are doing a lot of damage. If we had Frozen Banshee in along with Aethar, we'd even have more poisons, more poison sensitivity. That would be really impactful. So, I mean, you can see Gimbo is, you know, he's not necessarily built for this. He's built to try to be a nuker, but he's in here surviving longer than anyone. So it'd be surprising to make it past, you know, turn 30. But Ultimate Death Knight, once all his allies die, he starts to become even tankier, right? So I'll go ahead and pause the video until we get back. But certainly this is almost, you know, it's like 1.5 times. Well, it's almost double, almost. So I mean 7 million, almost 7 million. Let's see. So I think your previous damage was like 4 million, right? So, oh, was Aethar not? Okay, his gear just needed to be upgraded. I got you. So yeah, I think that that's probably the team that gets you out of brutal, right? Because I mean, if you would have ran that same team twice, you would have been able to get the last chest of hard, right? No doubt about it. And when you look at brutal, you aren't using keys in brutal. You could probably, I would say, you'd probably 3-key brutal with that team, especially once you get everyone's gear kind of figured out. Let me pause it 1 second, guys. All right, so yeah, I think like building out Frozen Banshee is a phenomenal idea. She is one of the best damages in Clan Boss, like plain and simple. She beats out Kale. She beats out a lot of the epic poisoners in this game. The poison sensitivity that she does is super strong. So she is absolutely worth bringing into Clan Boss. I would say if you could get her accuracy up to 200, that would be ideal because you're going to want to use her in other content as well. So yeah, like I see the reason for bringing Drexthar in because he can do the HP burn, and HP burn is strong against Clan Boss, but you don't have the 6-tier masteries, and that makes a big difference. So I think you should definitely be bringing in all your 6-star champions for clan boss. So let's do a key real quick just to see what kind of damage we do with this setup. And I'm gonna also, it said that Aethar might have needed some upgrades on his gear. He's got level 1 boots. Oh, I see why he has the level 1 boots. Um, I see why. So HP, flat HP boots for Aethar, probably not going to do a huge benefit for him. But I can see you're trying to do reflex set. And, I think a big challenge that a lot of players encounter is they feel the need to complete sets, right? Like, they feel the need to complete sets. So we have a 3-star. Oh, Panda. Panda, my tough love for you is to get these off of your account or put them on a faction war champion. Whew. So these two pieces, absolutely filthy, disgusting. Get them out of here. So we want Gaelic to be at 100% crit rate, right? He's currently only at 64%. So like, let's just look at this and see what we can do for you, because I would feel bad for leaving these currently here for you. This is actually a pretty strong piece, right? Let's see what you got here. Defense, defense. Let's do primary stat crit rate. Let's see what you got here. Attack. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. Let's take this up to 12 real quick. Oh, I can see that you've left him here for a enhancement event. So let's do this. Okay. That puts you at 97% crit rate, and we don't see, that's the thing, we don't care if this is a mismatch, right? Like, sure, it would have been great to get crit rate gloves from attack set or from this set, but we would use some silver to take these up to 12, and the substats are pretty atrocious, right? So what we care about is that your stats are covered, and this is not what you want, right? So like, we're gonna go ahead and get you some attack percent or crit damage. Let's see, attack percent there. Let's take this up just to see if it rolls attack percent. Okay, let's see if it rolls percent again. Okay, awesome. So you'll take those up to 12 whenever you can. Yeah, I mean, you have some good pieces on your account. It's just a matter of, taking them up a little bit. Oh, yes, 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 yes. That is absolutely worth putting on. Okay, so I mean, already you can see our stat difference, right? 100% crit rate. So every time he hits, not just his A2, 100% crit rate for A1, A2, all of them, right? He's got a higher attack than he had before. And, like, this isn't even fully maxed. So, I mean, once you take this to 12, you might get crit damage here. And you can always kind of play around with using different pieces, but um, definitely better than what it was, right? Now, as far as Aethar goes, I don't think, if I'm sure if you had a different reflex piece, you'd probably be using it. Well, maybe you have a better. Ooh, like, I mean, that's even better than what he currently has. So you might have just not wanted to spend the silver to remove it. But yeah, certainly this would be significantly better. I mean, now granted, I would still rather see him in speed boots. Like, 100%, I'd still rather see him in speed boots, even to break this set. I'd rather him be in speed boots, because think about what you're doing here. You're saying, I want you to get your cooldowns back faster, right? I want you to be able to use your best abilities faster. But he is slow. Like, he's like a snail, right? He's running around with 113 speed, and you're trying to make him fast, get his abilities back up faster. So I mean, it's kind of counterproductive, right? So, so yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have anything other than speed on him, then definitely do the attack percent. Um, so, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for you, man. I think that's gonna help you make a lot of progress, sure. And we'll go ahead and use this key just because you uh, gave me the okay. So I want to kind of see what you do on brutal. So we'll come back once we're getting close to the end. Okay, so just coming back real quick. So turn 11 is when we lost Aethar, which makes sense because he is our only level 50 in this squad, right? So we certainly do want to have as many 60s in our clan boss comp as we possibly can, so they don't just fall over after turn 10. So the other thing I'm noticing, it's so important to call out the benefits of having Ultimate Death Knight, because even whenever the clan boss tries to slam and stun, say Gaelic or Taragi or anyone else, instead Ultimate Death Knight steps in front of it, gets stunned instead, right? Um, so that is super beneficial. I did see Taragi did put out the decreased attack. I was thinking he had a decreased attack on his A1. Let's see. So again, we would need to hit around 7 million in order to be able to 3-key Brutal. I think that once you like Gaelic brings almost nothing to this team. Like obviously he's a 60 and that's why he's in here because he's got War Master that's strong. But as far as your clan boss team goes, and I do think your clan boss team is probably like the most influential thing on your account a lot of times because it gives you sacreds later on and it gives you more books to upgrade your champions, all of those things. Um, Gaelic brings very little to the team, right? You would much rather have Frozen Banshee than Gaelic. You'd much rather have, you know, even Grave Chill Killer, tossed in with Frozen Banshee brings significantly more than Gaelic is doing for you. So obviously he's your level 60 damage dealer, so he's in. But we would certainly want to see poisoners at level 60. We'd certainly want to see um, you know, just about anyone else other than Gaelic at 60. But he's serving his purpose. I'm sure he's farming campaign for you just fine and things like that. So looks like we got to turn 27ish before we die. Yeah, turn 27. Okay. So 3.9 million for Breedle is not bad, and this is only going to go up once Aethar is 60. And like I said, I've never played around with Aethar before, so it's kind of interesting to see his kit being put to use. Not that he's bad; it looks like he's clearly good. I've just never had him on any of my accounts, like even all accounts. He does the still random buffs. 4 times at random. Each hit places 5% poison. That's really strong for clan boss. Like that's really strong for clan boss. So really his A2 or his A3 is bringing nothing to the table. So you could actually turn this off in the team setup, and you would get your A2 back faster, which is what you'd want to do, right? Um, Especially if you're using reflex set, because if you do reflex set with him and his A3 is turned off, then all of a sudden it has the chance to take the cooldown of his A2, right? So, um, but Frozen Banshee is just so strong, so strong. You can put her in retaliation set too, and she'll pop off tons more poisons. It looks like you are building up your Frozen Banshee, so that's smart. Yeah, man, I'm excited for you. It looks like you're definitely on the right track for progression. Real quick, I won't take up a lot more time because I know these videos can tend to go long, but we'll just take a look and make sure you're farming stage 15. Yep, on Minotaur. What are you doing with Ice Golem? Probably around 15, 16. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, so you're making your way up here. Let's see, you're probably just running. Yeah, yeah, and again, don't underestimate the benefits of Taragi in this as well, because poisons will help push his threshold without actually triggering the slam. Um, so that's really strong. Um, just keep that in mind. Let's see, as far as Spider goes, you're running stage 13. Definitely so good that you have Drexthar. I wonder if you pulled Drexthar out of a shard or if you got him um, from the bazaar. So Ultimate Death Knight's tanking the spiders. Mausoleum Mage can cleanse off the poisons. Armiger's doing some turn meter control. Gaelic in here to do some smashes on the spiderlings. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. It'll be nice once you get like a Mordecai or an AoE HP burner. Something like that would be super nice for you. Okay. Check out Dragon. I think with your team currently, you should be hitting 20 on Dragon. Cause let's see, what's holding you back here? Off carry. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video. I'm gonna build a team for this, and we'll come back. Okay, and so this is the team that I put together for Dragon. We've got Drexthar Blood Twin for wave, provoking for HP burns whenever they attack him, that kind of thing. Taragi the Frog is also going to be provoking, so that's strong to kind of control the waves. We've got two attack all enemy damage dealers with Gimbo and with Gaelic to make sure we can actually get through the waves. And then, of course, Ultimate Death Knight is just a god at tanking damage. So we'll go ahead and pause it, and we'll come back once we get to the dragon. Okay, so we're coming back just because a lot of people are taking some pretty heavy damage. Again, that kind of comes back to the whole, like, we don't take turns often enough to keep these guys controlled with our provokes, to keep them controlled with provoke from Drexthar. So, you know, it is possible that they might just end up beating us if we were to get critted multiple times. Things like that can happen. This is our bad affinity, right? This is red, and our two of our champions are blue, so that's something to keep in mind. I will also say, from all the Ultimate Death Knights that I've looked at, this one tends to take a lot more damage, and a big part of that is simply because he's using crit rate gloves. So one thing you could potentially look at improving is putting defense percent gloves on him, so that way that gets improved. So we'll go ahead and come back once we get some damage on the dragon. Okay, so we'll see how this goes. We've got the first breath coming in. Don't really have any poisons or anything to really do much in regards to beating the breath time. So yeah, we'll go ahead and come back once we get a little bit more damage. Okay, so we've got our next breath coming up. Taragi the Frog is dangerously low health. And that's in big part because he's doing those ally protections. He's getting hit pretty hard from it, so he goes down. So we may end up having to adjust this team. Certainly wouldn't want to farm on Force Affinity. I think the next one is going to be the Green Affinity, Life Affinity. Sorry, Spirit Affinity. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, we might very well beat it with just the fact that we have Ultimate Death Knight, we have Gaelic and Gimbo in life still, so they're going to be doing a lot of sustain on their own. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. This will be a pretty influential breath here. Let's see. Now, Ultimate Death Knight has done crazier things. I don't think he'll be able to do this without the support of his allies, but crazier things have happened. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and pause this and come back once we either die or once we hit. Okay, so we did not end up beating it. I think that there's certainly a lot of room for growth with this team. We could potentially, instead of bringing Drexthar, we could potentially bring Aethar. Poison damage is going to be really, really impactful on the dragon. And I mean, that's the tricky thing, right? Like, Gimbo and Gaelic are both serving the same purpose, essentially, kind of pushing through with attack all enemy damage. So it would be really nice to see a strong single target damage dealer like Frozen Banshee or Aethar potentially be in the mix. But honestly, I think Drexthar Blood Twin makes a lot of sense as a next 60. But you certainly have some good options. So I will pause the video one more time, try out a different team, and then we'll come back if it's impactful or not. Okay, so we are coming up on potentially a kill here. Really, I brought Aethar in on this thinking that he was going to be impactful for the boss, but he ended up dying at the very end of the second wave, so he wasn't able to do any poisons on the boss. Major difference here in comparison to the previous run that we failed on was Drexthar actually landed several of his HP burns, which allowed us to get this far. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause it. The kids are all running in. Oh, so very close. So we got all the way down, probably like 5% life. I think if Aethar would have survived, no doubt in my mind, we would have been able to push it. So yeah, I think this team definitely has the potential to beat it.
The level 1 boots aren't helping Aethar survive for sure. So how about we do this? Um, because honestly, I think you could take this team to 20, right? Stage 18 is Force, stage 19 is Spirit, and then 20 is Magic. So I'm gonna pause it again.
Okay, so while I was looking at the champions to try to figure out how to get past this 18 roadblock for Dragon, I did notice a couple things I wanted to point out. Deliana is really, really low on accuracy, and Deliana is absolutely a debuffer, right? If you're bringing Deliana, you want her to land her debuffs. She gives you the leech, she gives you the decrease resistance, she gives you the block buffs here. So she's absolutely a phenomenal debuffer, and so the way you currently have her built right now, she's kind of just a very weak, like wet noodle attack all enemy champion. So which isn't super helpful, right? The other thing that I noticed, um, Humphreys had a, I think it was an attack chest on in Stalwart, and I just went ahead and put the HP chest on him or her, I think, whatever it is. So this is what it is on now in comparison to, let's see, I think it was this. It was attack right here. So the reason am considering bringing him in, it is a him because there is clear nipple action showing here. So just breathe the nips, right? Is because if we can get the revive off on anyone who dies, even so, if one person dies and then we get a revive off, we could easily kill Dragon, right? So that's my thought process there. Um, I'm really tempted to have Frozen Banshee built a bit differently, but we don't have the silver to do that, so that's something we could always explore later. If she had the accuracy, 100% she would be in on this Dragon kill. So your teams are definitely lacking accuracy, so that'll be something you'll want to explore as well. But we'll put this to the test one more time. I did level Aethar's boots up to 8, so that way he has a little bit more HP, because he was using some HP boots. So we'll see. Now, again, what the plan is for here, because he has a reflex set on, right? I think it would be better to break the reflex set and to just put him in better gear. But our plan is to have these champions certainly in there. Do Drexlar as well, and we will do Hofreeze. So what I'm going to do though is, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm still tempted to bring in AFR, um, because if he could just get some damage off on the boss, then I think we'd be fine. We just have to make it past that second wave. Um, so I wonder if I bring Aethar instead of Drexthar. Because the thing is, whenever Drexthar does his AoE provoke, um, it's actually not super impactful because, well, it does stop them from doing their attack all enemy abilities. But they all end up attacking Ultimate Death Knight because he interrupts, he intercepts the attacks. So I'm going to test it and then we'll come back. Okay, so we're back on Dragon. We've cleared wave 1 and 2 easily enough. Really, there was no danger of dying at any point, so that was good. We did decide to bring in Hofreis for this one. I really like the fact that he could potentially resurrect, say, I mean, anyone, right? If he can resurrect Taragi, if he can resurrect Drexthar, um, so it's just a question of will he die before someone or will they die before him? So yeah, I mean, it looks like Gimbo's taking some damage, Drexthar's taking some damage, so potentially we could actually get some benefits from that res. Um, but time will tell. It would be really nice to get a decreased attack off on the dragon before this next hit goes. Would love to see that if at all possible. Okay, so we definitely get a res. Hey you guys. So the previous video that I was making actually got interrupted because the kids were running in here in their underpants. It was chaos, and so I had to kind of snip it. And anyways, I ended up cutting out the outro. Nothing was lost as far as content from the video, but we ended up not passing that Dragon Stage 18. So
That'll be something that he'll be able to continue to work on. We got super close with that other team, like it was around 5% HP left. So certainly there is room for improvement with that, especially with the correct gear and everything. So again, thank you, Panda, for letting me look at your account, and thank you for letting me record it. It's always super appreciated. I hope you guys are all subscribed to the channel. We are doing an account giveaway, so the keyword will be Panda for that. So make sure you put Panda in the comment section below if you're interested in winning an account that has Ninja and Kale, both at level 60. It is still very much an early game account, but it does have some Rockstar champions on it. So it's got a Cold Heart, a Verse Off the Grim. So it's not super sacked, but I do have a video where I talk about that account. So if you're not already in our Discord, make sure you join the Discord. We have a lot of players who are helping each other out. We post pictures of our cats, our dogs. I need to post a picture of our spider. Haven't done that yet. But yeah, so that's the major thing. The other thing I wanted to mention is the Bastion 2 is beginning to fill up. So if you are trying to get into the Bastion 1, we are currently 30 of 30. We will have some people leaving the Bastion to come into this one, because this one's going to be focused on Brutal and Nightmare clan boss. But if you just need a clan until then, certainly go ahead and send a request over here. I'll get you in, and then once we have space, we'll kind of figure out what we're doing. So definitely would love for more folks to join here. We're already on Brutal in this one, so we just need some more folks hitting Brutal, and then we'll be into Nightmare. Yeah, I hope y'all have a wonderful night. I always enjoy making the videos. It's a bit chaotic sometimes, especially with the editing, trying to, censor the children and things. So that's why we don't have a webcam right now, just in case any of them run in here. So, but I hope y'all have a good one. Take care. Until next time.